See you, boys.
After injuring my knee 2 weeks ago, we promised ourselves we'd be more cautious in the mountains.
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth even like stepping onto that. Like, I'm just worried about popping a turn here and just off it goes.
This has only been on our radar for months, and we knew this might be our last chance to ski it for the season.
Fuck, that was a bit kind of scary.
The truth is though, risk doesn't disappear just because you're paying attention. It just becomes harder to ignore.
Oh shit. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Valentine's Day. The boys have a date with the mountains. It's 5 a.m. We're out here in the Hokkaido backcountry, about to get stuck into a climb as usual. We're chasing a weather window. Actually, this one's not even a window. It's just meant to be a sunny day from like 8 o'clock onwards. So I'm gonna get stuck into this climb. And when we can actually see something, I'll give you a bit of a report on what's happening, but this is gonna suck till the sun comes up. But the day's gonna be amazing, as usual. Excited to take you along.
This mountain isn't the kind of place you just show up at and send it. Over the past few weeks, we've been tracking glide cracks opening up all around the mountain, marking areas we wanted to stay well clear of. The avalanche forecast was also warning about wind loading in the alpine and the possibility of weaker layers sitting in the upper snowpack. So heading into the day, the plan was simple. Stay flexible, keep assessing conditions, and choose our lines based on what we actually found up there.
A bit under halfway of vert. The sun is starting to light up the earth, which is great. Got a low-lying cloud cover. It's supposed to clear up towards 8 o'clock, so I guess we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully get a bit of warmth soon. Fill the boys up with a bit of energy, you know? At least that's what I remember last time doing this. As soon as the sun came up, it was just like boom, bang into gear. So
as twilight began, we could finally see more than a few meters in front of us and started getting a clearer picture of what was actually going on the mountain. Not long after that, we came across one of the glide cracks we'd pinned on our mapping application a few weeks earlier. A good reminder of one of the main hazards we were watching for. Apart from that though, things were looking pretty calm below treeline, which was a great start. But we knew the higher we climbed, the more likely things were going to change. So we kept moving toward the alpine to see what the mountain had waiting for us.
It's all starting to come together behind me. All the time in the dark, you're just like, what are we doing? And then it gets to about this time and you're like, that's what we're doing. We're actually at about pretty much the exact same spot as Quinn and I were last time when the sun came up. Yeah, we'll keep going. Probably watch the sunrise soon. Have a little cheer. High fives all around. Tell each other we love each other on Valentine's Day. And then we'll push for the summit and pick our line. So now the sun's out, I'm gonna sub out the old head torch for the Outdoor Master sunnies because it's bright out here, you know? If you are ever looking at purchasing anything from Outdoor Master, I do have a code in the description of all videos from this season. I've been using the Phoenix X sunglasses all season, and honestly, I'll be straight up with you. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't wear them. I've got like other pairs of sunglasses that I can wear. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna keep pushing up this hill. We've got some amazing hues of like pink and orange and just blue. It's amazing. Seriously, it's amazing. I love this shit. So glad we got up at 3:30. True backcountry mission without a little bit of boot packing. Lead the way, sir. Thumbs up. I don't want to say boot packing was a dumb decision, because it was kind of the only decision, but it was a dumb decision.
As we moved into the final stretch, the snow started to feel very different from what we'd been seeing lower down. Instead of the dry powder we'd been seeing in the tree line, our boots were now punching through a crust. At this point, I started taking note of what we were seeing, knowing it was something we'd need to talk about once we reached the summit.
Alright, we did it, we're up here. Same as last time though, there's just like a bit of a foggy haze going on. What are you gonna do, you know? Boys are still gonna ski some power. We're gonna head over to our objective bowl, have a suss of it, see what we think, and probably have a bit of food and drop in. I'll see you over there. Yeah. Like, not a good idea to. I reckon we drop into this one and come around to the left. Yeah. We lose a little bit of vert, but so be it. Yeah, I'm not fussed about skiing it from exactly the top.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Cracks.
Cracks? What, shooting cracks?
Yeah.
Once we started looking at our options down from the summit, the decision became pretty obvious. Quinn edged out a few meters onto the slope, and instantly we saw the biggest shooting cracks any of us had ever come across.
The problem is, like, this whole bit could go and send you off into those trees.
I'm saying here, that's what I'm saying.
There's a pretty clear warning sign to stay well away from that section of the face. If a slab were to release there, it would likely run the entire length of the bowl. So pretty quickly we made the call to give up the idea of skiing it from top to bottom. Losing a bit of vertical was an easy trade-off if it meant we could ski it more safely.
Yeah, I think we go into that and around and pop out below it.
So how do they get there?
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth even like stepping onto that little section there, because it'll just run and go straight into those trees. Yeah. Yeah, so it's still wind slabby up here, but not to the same extent that was. Like, that was pretty significant. One by one for now and follow it around. I was just trying to avoid that huge area with massive... Yeah, there's a flat section we can use to traverse. I'm just worried about wind loading on this bit as well though, for now.
Sam, what do you want to ride?
Let me do a hand shift. Like, I'm just worried about popping a turn here and just off it goes.
Down here, the snow was still showing signs of wind loading. There was really no escaping that while we were up in the Alpine. But the huge shooting cracks had disappeared and things were looking marginally better. From here we could finally see the line we'd been hoping to ski. The problem was, we were still sitting above a massive alpine face between two bowls, and if anything were to break loose here, it would still run top to bottom. I won't lie and say we weren't tempted to just send it from here, but in the end, we decided to drop a little further down the ridge and reassess from a safer spot.
Yeah, like, I think sticking to ridges is a very smart move right now, but it's still not a fail-proof fucking method, that's the problem.
Of course not.
Yeah. So you're dropping that side first,
I think so.
and then around. Alright, so Sam's got eyes on you at the start, I got eyes on you.
What?
I got eyes on you after you pop out onto this ridge. Yeah.
Drop it.
I can see him. Oh, he's stopped. I can see you've stopped. What's up?
Right below where you are. There's a glide crack right below the ridge where you guys are.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
So I went, it was fine because you could go around the glide crack, or if you want to go around the glide crack, you got to go probably 10 meters into the bowl on your left.
Alright, so maybe, should we just make our way down to you now?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll just follow your line, I think, yeah.
You want to go skiers right of my line because I went to the glide crack at the furthest possible point. So go skiers right of my line.
Copy. Sam's on his way to you.
That was clear, you get the drop.
Alright, dropping now. Just good to be safe, guys, and cautious. There's a lot of warning signals going off at the moment. I think I'm gonna go onto the left-hand side ridge. Just one by one.
From here, the only way to reach the line we wanted to ski was to cross the top of the bowl. Easily the most consequential move of the day. Once again, the snow was looking marginally better at this elevation, suggesting the worst of the wind slab was starting to fade, but it was still far from a green light.
That was a bit kind of scary.
Some people might choose not to make that move at all, but staying on the skier's right ridge wasn't really an option either, as that's where we'd been tracking the massive glide cracks.
Okay, come in.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. There's like, it's not exactly like completely fresh, but it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, easy coming.
The snow's certainly a little weird. Definitely got some, all sorts of different weird snow happening here today, guys. It's not, we wanted to bomb this in one hit, but not even worth it. You just set up a little size 0.5.
What?
It's just,
Yeah, I saw it.
yeah.
Before dropping in, we took a few minutes to go over the plan, the line I was taking, the potential hazards, and where I'd end up if everything went well, or if something didn't.
And I'm gonna pop out on the left-hand side of that gully at the bottom.
I was still wary that pockets of wind slab could be hiding on the face, and with my knee still recovering, I had no interest in skiing this at full speed. The goal was to ski it conservatively, use the terrain where I could, and pay close attention to how the snow reacted with each turn. We went through our safety plan, confirmed my exit point, and locked it in. Then it was time to drop.
See you, boys. You! Oh shit. Whoa. I'm all good, but I did just get hit by an avalanche.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just got hit in the back by it. Very lucky, size 1. Holy fuck.
What, by a slip or a slab?
No, it's, I don't know, but I'm at the bottom now. Just give me a sec. I just gotta calm down and get to a point where I can see you.
We can see you. You should be able to see us.
Yeah, okay. All right, just give me a sec. I just gotta calm myself down. Holy fuck.
You can see that by the time I reached the lower section of the line, I started shutting things down pretty quickly to protect my knee. Up until that point, I'd been keeping an eye on the snow coming down behind me, and it didn't look like anything significant was moving. But this is where I got caught out. The slough I'd pushed down the slope caught up with me right at the bottom and gave me a bit of a surprise.
I actually can't tell if it was an insane amount of slough or if I can also see like a fracture line where I did a little bit of a turn on like a left-hand kind of steep part.
Yeah, no worries, bro. What's the best place for us to come down?
Give me a minute and I'm gonna move out of the slide path onto the skier's right side of this bowl.
I couldn't say for sure what had hit me at this point, but I knew it was enough to knock someone off their feet and send them into a bad spot. I got on the radio and relayed this information so we could talk through options from there.
Okay, I can now see where the avalanche came from. As soon as I popped into the top bowl, I did one left turn and it's completely, I can't tell if it's a massive slough or if it's actually a fracture line. And then I basically skied to the skier's left side of it and somehow made it down, and it didn't hit me until I got like 10 turns further down.
Okay, over. Can we drop straight down the middle of this bowl from where we are?
I don't, yeah, you can, but it like there's some pretty steep technical features and a lot of avi debris around, so I wouldn't be like fucking sending it, but.
Cool, over. I think Sam might do that. I'd stick to the left-hand side of the trees.
If they wanted to ride down, we decided the smartest move was to stay away from trees, use the high points where possible, and expect to be managing moving snow on the way down. Sam was up next, and he chose a line that let him do exactly that.
There is like a nice chute kind of directly below you guys.
Yeah, sweet. That's what Sam was gonna hit.
Yeah, just be super careful. Like it's reactive. That's what it is.
Yeah, notice Sam will drop in like 3 seconds. How is he?
He's got an avalanche running behind him very slowly. He's not aware of it.
I might see the skier's right ridge. I might cut back across.
Yeah, he's got avalanche everywhere around him, eh? He skied that perfectly though. Like he stayed on the high point and it just rode like all the way around him.
By the time Sam reached me, we had a much clearer picture of how the bowl was reacting. The skier's right side was noticeably less reactive given less solar input. We passed that information back up to Quinn.
Dude, that was hectic. You fucking rode that to perfection in terms of like avoiding it.
Yeah, buddy.
I said to Quinn after your first turn, I was like, he's got avalanche debris everywhere around him.
Yeah, I fucking...
How's the left side feel in comparison? Less like slabby?
Updates, please.
I would honestly be saying go to the skier's right side of this bowl if you can.
Skier's right, like the ridge.
Yeah, correct. But anything on that skier's left side has obviously been reactive to sun to some extent.
Okay, cool. I'll drop it like 10.
Being the last rider, he was also in the most exposed position. If anything went wrong, Sam and I would have to move back uphill for a rescue. After what happened 2 weeks earlier, that was something we were all very aware of. So Quinn made the call to take the most conservative line of all of us.
Cool. Dropping in 10.
Oh, I might try and move into the middle, even though it's a bit dangerous to try and get an eye on him.
The stuff that I sent down, did it come all the way down to here?
Nah. No, it's not running like incredibly long. Like I'm not doing a second lap though, that's for sure.
Dropping in 5. Oh.
Woo! Holy shit. Not going there. Holy. That was sketchy. Woo! You know what I said? If you go fast enough, you can jump over a glide crack? Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah, buddy. Did ya? Yeah. Can you see my crack up the top in the open tree area? Yeah. And then Sam's one fucking run through here. Yeah. We are not doing a second lap.
We all made it down safely and ended up skiing some really good lines. But the mountain had been giving us hints all day, and it was pretty clear that even with the way we were managing risk, there was still an element of luck involved. At that point, the easiest call we made all day was to wrap it up and head home, rather than push our luck for another lap.
You! Oh, you should have tried a nose butter. Oh, sorry. There's a jump.
On the way back to the car, it was pretty easy to feel like we'd had a successful day. We'd made it through some complicated terrain, adjusted our plans along the way, and came out the other side without any real consequences. But looking back on it, that doesn't necessarily mean we got everything right. There were definitely moments where we were exposed, and times things could have gone differently. And I think that's the hardest part about days like this. Just because nothing happens, it's easy to convince yourself you made the right decisions. But in reality, it's probably somewhere in between.
Alright, so a bit of a mission debrief now that we are all home safe, and there were some things that happened today that are good talking points, good learning points, and also dangerous. So I could feel straight away that the snow was just different to what we'd been skiing all season. It just made different noises, it felt different under your feet, it looked different. And so we're on high alert from pretty much like as we put our skis on. So, and then from there we just made what I felt were the smartest or the safest decisions. You know, if you're more experienced than me, leave a comment and let me know what you would have done in that situation. But basically it was ski the ridge line where I know I can sort of dip in and out of open sections, not have too many trees there, and not expose myself to big terrain that can, you know, if something breaks, it's going to be like a size 2 or a size 3. Yeah, I'm not here to say that everything we did today was the correct way to do it or the safest way to do it. We knew that going for that zone was a bit of a stretch today. Obviously, the fact that we had 30 centimeters overnight kind of made us think maybe this is doable. It's not like we went into there thinking, oh yeah, this will be sweet. Like, we already knew that it was going to be maybe hit and miss, and then we still decided to ski it, but very conservatively. I would like to, at least in my opinion, that's what we did. And even then, as you can tell, we still ended up in situations that I personally don't want to end up in again. So yeah, a learning experience. We're going to talk about it. We're going to move forward. We're not going to go there again this season. All in all, super pleased that we all got home safely. Appreciate you watching. As I said, if you've got comments or questions about what we did, if you're a lot more experienced than me, I'd love to hear from you. What would you have done in that situation? Because I'm only learning. I'm still learning, and I accept that I have a lot to learn. So that was a perfect example of the fact that I still have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn as a group. So see you next time.